Hey guys, we are gonna do some hard gel removal and get in there in the crevices, in the cracks, and remove some dead skin cells in her lateral folds. So don't overthink it, don't make it difficult. The right tools, the right technique, and you got this. So let's go ahead and jump in. Removal and cuticle care. I'm working with the Safety Smooth Top Tapered Barrel at 25,000 RPMs, and my preferred method of removal is the dragging. This is a hard gel base. I want to work with speed. Anytime you're working with a carbide, speed is your friend. You should not be digging into the product. Just have high RPMs. Okay, so now that I still have some product right here, if you ever notice that your e-file is catching, rotate your client's finger, okay? Where the nail is attached, that's where you're gonna place your bit and you're going to go up. I am not gonna start down here at the free edge because it's going to catch. Those little teeth are gonna catch on the nail and it's gonna do that thing and freak you out and freak your client out. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so where it's attached right here, I'm going up. And where it's not attached, that's where I'm gonna go down, just like that. Good. I'm going to rotate my client's finger back. You want to get to a point where you can remove as much of the color without switching your tool, okay? But if you're like, oh, those carbide teeth are so close, that's okay. Switch to your diamond, just like that. So this is a hard gel. Depending on where your client is with their growth will determine how much, especially if you're doing a structure, is how much of the product that we're gonna file down. So it's a little bulky right here. I'm going to continue taking my e-file. So depending where your regrowth is, you might need to spend a little more time down here, just thinning out where that apex has grown out. Now that's gonna vary depending on where it was placed, as well as how many weeks in between your balance. Just looking at where the product is, seeing if there's any lifting. I'm going to rebuild it so I don't need to go down. I don't see any signs of lifting, so I'm going to continue to move on with my service. All right, I have my medium Diamond Erica's Boss Lady file, and I'm just in here shaping. That's one of the first questions I'm going to ask my client. Is how's your shape, how's your length? So we're just going to take off a little bit of the length. I'm going to just gently push into that proximal fold and release the cuticle. This is a good time to see how sensitive my client is. So I'm going to say, how does this feel?
Feels fine.
All right. I've exposed all these dead skin cells. Rotate it over here. So we are going to use our diamond bit and we're going to clean up all of these dead skin cells. I have the detail bit and I'm running at 10,000 RPM. So I don't usually use something so pointy around the proximal, but since most of her buildup is in the lateral fold, that's why I chose to work with this tool. Now I do floss. So this is what I call flossing, when you're taking the bit and just dragging it through the lateral fold and then rolling back the skin. Just like this, removing those dead skin cells, trying to stay more on the skin. Just like this, get that build up, that tip. Don't lead with the tip, just the edge. I'm in the forward direction, working down the left side. And then now I would do all 10 fingers. So now that I've done all 10 fingers, I would then take my e-file, put it in reverse, and then work from left to right. We want the skin to lift up and off the nail plate. We are trying to open up this pocket, just like this. All right, she's got some nice crust right here. After you do several passes, if you're noticing, there's still some buildup right there, just increase your RPM. So I was at 10,000. Now I'm moving to 14,000 and I'm just gonna right there, tap, 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 tickle, 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 tap, 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 and pull it back. Make sure you reduce your speed and let's take a look with what we got. Pull that skin back. Try not to use the tip or you'll notice that you get this like hail damage look. Keep the barrel as flat as you can and just pull back. I want to pull back that skin. So as a righty, I do the rollback when I am in reverse. If you are a lefty, you are going to do the pullback in the forward direction. Okay, the whole idea is to pull this little lip of skin back. All right, I'm gonna take some alcohol, my nylon brush. I like this nylon brush because they're actually a little more abrasive than some of the soft ones. I want to clean up all those dead skin cells. And let's see what we still have that's attached. It's looking good. All right, I'm just gonna open that pocket up a little more. I'm in the forward direction and I'm just sweeping out any dead skin cells. So when you're working with flames, it really becomes a personal preference. Just be sure you're keeping that tip of the bit parallel. That way you don't create any rings of fire. And then over here, I see a little bit of debris. So I'm keeping this on the skin and exfoliating the skin and not the nail plate, right? I don't want to hurt this track. The track is what that nail groove grows out. We want to keep the nail on the right track. I'm going to pull back a little tighter right here. Exfoliate. I'm literally feeling like if there's any debris that's catching on the bit. 7,000 RPMs with the Erica's nib. Look at that. Look how beautiful. And when you have the appropriate RPMs with the right bit abrasiveness, you don't have to apply any pressure. If you realize that you need to apply force to get the dead skin cells off, that just means A, your bits are dull, or B, you need to increase your RPMs, okay? No digging. No digging. Be careful. This is a tear zone. All right, we're going to soften this edge right here, okay? Got a little hangnail that we're just going to deal with. Now, if this was like right here, this little edge, if it was really... Now, if this had an edge, I would nip it and then go over and smooth it, okay? Just depending on what that edge looks like. Time is money. I want to be efficient, but I definitely also want to set my client up for beautiful cuticles. So since I was working with 2 small cuticle bits, I have decided to grab my diamond barrel in medium grit at 6,000 RPMs and just prep that regrowth area. Now we're not buffing, we are roughing so that the new product that I'm about to apply will nicely adhere to that nail plate, just like this. I do not need to smooth. If there's any ridges, I'm going to be applying hard gel, so I do not need to smooth or buff any of that out, all right? If you see some marks from your e-file, that's fine. I'm now going to clean the nail, all right? And I've done everything dry. Gonna just push back that cuticle that always wants to relax back on the nail. Dry that off so you guys can see. All right, so there you guys have it. I've done my removal, done my cuticle work, and my prepping, and now it's just ready for product application. Beautiful, that's a wrap, you guys. Get in there, remove the product as quick as possible, and then do your cuticle work. Don't overthink it. You got this. To see more content, go ahead, like and subscribe.